What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news topics that happened in the scale world of RC over the past week. If you enjoy the Scale News Update, hit the like button now so you don't forget to do it later. Hit the subscribe button while you're at it. But let's jump into this week's topics. First this week, a new release coming from Kyosho, a Nissan 240Z. It appears that this is going to be released on the Kyosho Phaser platform. Same platform where they have a ton of really nice styled bodies on pretty much the same platform. They've got 69 Camaros and Cudas and 2000 GTs. A ton of options where the bodies are exceptionally well done. These Kyosho phasers usually sit in that 240 to 250 range for the brushed model, or the brushless versions are around 350. Not all of the vehicles are available in that brushless setup, so depending on which way they bring this out, you can either look at the 250 to 350 range brushed versus brushless. If you're thinking about a 240Z, this is one of them to think about. And it's one of the ones to think about because yesterday, another 240Z was released, and this one was from Associated. This is on the Apex base chassis, which I believe is the same chassis that the Huna truck was previously released on. That chassis was a new release from Associated when they put that Huna truck body on it, and now a second option has come out with this 240Z body. Just like the previous 240Zs, look pretty good. This one seems fairly well done also. This release from Associated most likely means that this is right around the corner, and I assume that we'll see them shipping here in the next couple of weeks or so. The construction of this car, pretty basic pan chassis, independent suspension all around, and this one is coming brushed only at this point. And the retail price on this is being posted at $335.99. You can pre-order these now, and again, I assume that they'll be shipping in the next couple of weeks or so. Next, we have a new release coming from FMS. This is the 1/10 scale Michigan Jeep Wrangler YJ, a square headlight but 1/10 scale Jeep from FMS. This is a hard body, removable top, opening doors, super detailed interior, ladder frame chassis, and it's a linked suspension. They are going to offer this in a leaf spring, or they're going to offer a leaf spring suspension separately. It's being offered out of the box as a linked suspension. Now, it does show that it is a 4-link suspension, but still with chassis mounted servo. Overall, 1.9 tires. The wheelbase is a little bit longer than the standard 12.3. It's 330 millimeters. They list this at a 1/10 scale, but like most releases, the scale has no meaning whatsoever. At the 330 millimeter wheelbase compared to a stock YJ, this is actually like 1/7 scale. So it's large. It does come with 1.9 wheels and some basically Proline Hyrax knockoff tires on it. A super non-scale tire on a very scale body. It's a super odd choice that they went with those tires on this body. No idea why they would have went that direction, but overall, it looks pretty decent. The axles that are underneath this look basically identical to the 1/6 scale Jimny that they released. That Jimny is a very tiny vehicle, so they said it was 1/6 scale versus 1/10 scale, but it was basically a 1/10 scale sized car, very similar to what I assume this one will be like. Like a lot of things FMS, I imagine that this is going to be very style driven, and performance will just be a tag along. Most likely not something that's going to make anyone ooh and ah at the incredible lines that it's doing, but the scale realism is definitely there. The official release of this vehicle hasn't happened yet, so if you're looking for more information on this, you may have to wait another few days. Circling back to Associated, they released another one of the Huna trucks, but this one is smaller. It's actually 14th scale versus the 10th scale version that they released before. Just probably one of those things that they wanted a good price point vehicle to throw in the hobby shops for the holiday season, and with the smaller size came a smaller price tag, and likely one that's going to be attractive to holiday shoppers. Maybe that's you, or maybe you just have an affinity for 1/14th scale on-road cars. I'm not sure if there's a lot of company in that scale or not, but if it's something you're looking for, that thing is being posted for sale now. MST just put out a new release on their TCRM chassis. This is the RS73 Sport Car. Just right on the side of the door, Sport Car, not an S. This thing looks great though. If you're a vintage Porsche fan, then I mean, it looks pretty killer. MST does a great job at bodies. Definitely one of the things that they're absolutely best at. I've built that TCRM chassis before, not something to write home about, but I assume that this body is going to just be top notch. It's sitting on there in the product photos, pretty slammed down. I think it's got a pretty awesome stance. One that I would consider owning myself. No idea why, but I've always dreamed of owning a sport car myself. Last week we talked about the teaser from Proline, and they fully released the new 12.3-inch wheelbase Sumo body. This is a throwback to the Sumo that they had released before, which was a much shorter wheelbase body. This one fits a proper 12.3-inch wheelbase. It's got a stretched rear section to try and make it fit a standard wheelbase while keeping proportions kind of in check. There was a long wheelbase version of the Samurai, but I don't think we ever saw it here in the US. I believe that it was only available overseas. So this is something that's, halfway plausible. But more than anything, 12.3 is the super common trail truck. They're, they want bodies people want to go into the hobby shop and buy a body that just fits their truck. And that's why we see these. This one definitely gives me the old Axial Trail Ranger vibes. If any of you remember that body from way back, there's some cool builds with that. I think that this one will, follow suit. Probably not going to be the ultimate choice for comp crawlers or things like that, but more options the better. And this one is definitely different. Proline also released some of their current body options available in different ways. The IROC Z, the no prep body, they've got available in two pre-painted versions. One is a blue base, one is a black base with the graphics and everything on there. Price tag isn't that bad really for a pre-painted body with windows properly masked and decals applied, all that. Not terrible. So if you're looking to just slap something on and be done, it's an option. They also had the tough color versions of some of the drag bodies before, in case you weren't all that concerned about clear windows or anything like that. You wanted to apply your own decals. You check those out as well. And speaking of the tough color, they released the Proline Cliffhanger in the tough color gray. This is molded in a gray polycarbonate, so it's not clear at all. The windows are solid through, but all you have to do is trim out the shape of it, slap your decals on it, and you're ready to go. No painting, it's just gray. It's scratched, it's still gray. No, nothing to flake off or anything like that. Super simple. I see why they do these. I'm not sure how popular they are or not, but it makes sense. Next, we had the official release of the Artful Dodgers Ground Fox V2. This is for the VS410 Phoenix, specifically the Pro and Ultra. This uses the standard VFD transmission, but it's made to accommodate the VFD Dig as well. It's got a place for the micro servo on there. It's got a nice low belly with an angled skid plate. It's an aluminum chassis, but it includes everything that you need. All of the cross braces, sliders, everything. The servo mount has also been repositioned for a more lay-down style servo for a lower center of gravity. Adjust the steering geometry just a little bit, but a little bit of trade-off there. Again, it does say that it's compatible with either straight axles or portals, so Pro, Ultra, either one should drop right in there. If you're interested in it, I'll put a link to this in the description below, as well as links to the rest of today's stories. Hobby Plus has a new 124 scale that they've released, and it has a van body on it. It's the Rock Van. Does it ring any bells to anybody? This 124 scale platform does have portals on it though, so they're kind of just chasing the heels of that trend right now. Hobby Plus, we've seen a number of different 124 scales and 1/18 scale versions released from them in the past under a number of different types of bodies and styles. Hard bodies and Lexan bodies, all kinds of things. Kit versions even as well. These are typically sold through A-Main. I don't know when this one will hit A-Main or if this is the first one of that new 124 scale base that will hit with the portals and everything. So you can keep an eye on the A-Main website for those Hobby Plus models. I'll put a link down to all of their current options. They're much less expensive than some of the other ones that are on the market currently. So if you're looking for gifts that are on the cheaper side, but kind of in that same range, not a bad choice. Next, we get into the holiday sales portion of the video. On last Wednesday's live stream, Matt and I both kind of went through and did our Black Friday shopping lists again. We picked 10 items under $100 and 10 that could be $100 on up. Put those lists together, and I'll link to those in the description below in case you want to hand off the list to somebody and say, hey, here's things that I would be interested in for the holidays. But if you have to do shopping yourself, I'll cover some of the deals that are popping up either when we did that list or now. Horizon's deals from last week have expired and their new ones are starting here soon. There is some good deals to be had. Some of them may be for reasons. Others, maybe less so. But you can get DR10s for $199. Brushless, ready to run DR10 drag cars. That's a huge price drop for a base car. Yeah, you're not going to go kill it in the competition scene, but you could have a ton of fun with still. So definitely something to look for there. The Capra RTRs are going to be listed for $299. So from $499 to $299, another big savings. RC4 Drive 124 scale Trailfinder 2s. Those things are going to be almost 60% off. They're going to go from $169 to $69. $100 off on that. That one might be for reasons. Maybe you give that to your least favorite nephew. Vanquish Products has a number of promotions going on currently as well. And starting the day this video comes out, there's also a promotion going for the VS410 Phoenix Portal and straight axles, where some of those packages will include a golden ticket. And if you win a golden ticket, you can come get a chance to win the whole factory. No, not that. But you can win some pretty cool stuff, up to a VS410 Ultra, Wheels of Fortune, and other prizes. Some good stuff in there though. The tickets will be put inside of random kits, so try your luck. Scale Metal Supplies is running at 15% off site-wide with code BUILDIT. You can check that one out. RC4 Drive is launching their Black Friday sales. Most notably on their sales is going to be the TF2 Marlin Crawler RTR. That's going to be dropped to $399. So $499 normal, $399 now. Pretty decent chunk off of that truck. You can also save on heavy machinery and a bunch of stuff that may have been found in mystery boxes. This Wednesday, live stream takeover. Come join Matt and I for pre-Turkey Day celebrations. And then, of course, Friday, post-Turkey Day, the leftovers stream. Come hang out Friday night. We'll continue to work on something there as well. Who knows what. But that's going to do it for this week's news topics, for this week's question segment. Last week, we talked about what was bringing you the most happiness at the time, whether it was people getting back into BMX, launching their LMT, just building tiny trucks, even the photography of our tiny trucks. There was a lot of great answers that were a little bit outside of the norm. Some fun ones to read. For this week, though, bringing it back to Thanksgiving, oftentimes it's a time of travel for me, but not this year. This year we're staying more local. So maybe it's a chance to get out and go do something while other people are more preoccupied. What are your plans for those 4 days? Do you get a couple of days off? Do you gotta go right back to work? Do you get any days off? Or are you gonna go do something fun? And no matter what you're doing, are you taking a truck with you? That's the important part. But with that, thanks as always for watching the Scale News Update. Hit the like button if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you're not already. Hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as they get uploaded. As always, thanks again for watching. We'll see you on the next one.